Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This is a quick guide on how to complete the Glassway Grandmaster Nightfall. I will first show you our loadouts followed by strategies. Timestamps are in the description below. This Grandmaster contains barriers and overloads. There are arc and a few solar shields, so have some weapons to deal with those. The threat is void, so definitely have some void resist mods. At the time of the recording, the surges were solar and strand. This could be different for you depending if you do the GM on the week it comes out or later on through your Conqueror title. So always double check where the surges are and match your subclasses and weapons to them. Moving on to loadouts, we had a Warlock running well for damage combined with Phoenix Protocol to gain super energy upon getting kills inside the well. The Titan ran Behemoth combined with Hoarfrost to make stasis crystal walls. The Hunter ran Threadrunner for Radclear along with 6 Coyote for additional dodges to suspend targets. Moving on to weapons, the Warlock ran an Arbalest for stunning barriers as well as a bow for stunning overloads. Finally, they had a solar heavy linear for damage to make the most of the surge. The Titan ran Riptide for freezing adds and the Monarch for stunning overloads. They too ran a solar heavy linear for damage. The Hunter had a Strand Auto Rifle to create grenade energy for the suspending grenades along with a Dead Messenger for ad clears. Finally, they ran a Machine Gun for clearing adds. Now onto mods, starting with a class item. Run any of the mods to help reduce your ability cooldowns when using different abilities. You could also run the mods Proximity Ward and Healthy Finisher to get your health back along with an Overshield when performing a finisher. For leg armor, you can run mods to help with your ability regen when picking up Orbs of Power. You could also run Scavenger mods to pick up additional ammunition when picking up ammo bricks. On your chest armor, run a Concussive Dampener to help reduce incoming damage from grenades and explosions, especially from the Wyverns. Also run a Void Resist mod because incoming Void damage is increased by 25%. For gauntlets, yet again run any mods that boost your ability regen when picking up Orbs of Power. Finally, for the helmet, I suggest you have a Heavy Ammo Finder mod on along with a Scout Finder mod for your teammates. Also run some Ashes to Assets to get a super back on grenade kills. These are the loadouts that we used. Either copy them or use them to make your own designs. You do not need the same loadouts, subclasses or characters that we have to complete this GM. With that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Once you spawn in, drive over to the caves and clear the adds out from this area. Around the corner will be an overload champ, so use this rock to your right for cover to safely dispose of it. Continue to push up, killing the adds along the way, but be careful as there will be snipers throughout the whole area. Once you get to this location, do not jump down off the ledge. There will be adds around you along with an overload. If you jump down into the cave, another wave of adds will spawn, including a barrier champion which will protect the overload. Instead, kill the overload first and then jump down to spawn in the barrier champ last. Once the adds have been cleared, push onwards towards the next cave where you will encounter the first of the 2 mini bosses. Once again, don't go too far into the cave because there is an overload near the front, and if you push up too far, a barrier will spawn. Stay here at the entrance and kill the overload first, followed by the mini boss. Also be careful of the right side ledge because it will contain a few snipers. Once the boss and the adds are dead, then push up and the barrier champ will spawn in at the back. Once cleared, continue forwards to the next cave to face against the second mini boss, and you will be using the same strategy as in the previous 2 rooms. Kill the overload first, followed by the boss, and then move forward to spawn the barrier. 2 people can stay on the right side of the cave, whilst a third can jump across and use this rock on the left for cover to get a different angle. Take your time and be careful because the boss can one-shot you, so don't hold the peak for too long. In the next area, don't go too far. Push up a little towards this left side area and snipe the adds from this position. When most of the shanks and dregs are gone, some Vandal snipers will spawn in the middle. Take them out and then you can use that same area to deal with 2 overloads in the middle of a room. Don't worry if they fall off the map because it will count towards your kills. For the second overload though, be careful of the 2 snipers near the back of a cave along with the other 2 that spawn next to it. After clearing it, proceed forward to the plate room. There are 2 strategies that you can use here. Either have an Invis Hunter to complete the plate in one go, or do it in segments of either 25% or 33%. With the segments, simply capture the plate by a quarter of its percentage whilst killing the adds to the left and right sides. Once more adds spawn in, fall back off a plate and use the cover behind you to dispose of the adds, and don't forget about the Vandal snipers on the top left and right side ledges. Once the adds are dead, capture more of a plate, rinse and repeat. This is the longest strategy, but it is the safest. When the plate has been captured, use this high ground to shoot the adds below you, including the overload champ. Usually it stays in the middle but can rotate to the right side. Then either stay up here and continue sniping or push up further into the room. There's plenty of pillars and walls you can use for cover, so take your time clearing out this room. Once half the adds die, a barrier champ will spawn in the middle. Get rid of any adds on your left and right sides before going after the barrier. There will also be snipers up on the top left and right side ledges, so do not forget about those. Once the barrier dies, the remaining adds will then rotate to the back of the room into one location. You are now in the boss room. There is a strategy here that you can use to control the number of ad spawns, so I am going to break it down to you into 4 steps. Begin by clearing out the dregs and overloaded champ in front of you. Then move over to the left side room, which you will be using for the duration of this GM. The room has 3 entrances, left, middle and the right side tunnel which you entered. You will want to focus the ads into the middle hallway and use it as a choke point. Don't go too far left or right because the ads will teleport to your flanks. So step 1. The first wave will contain the boss, Transcendent Hydra, 2 overloads and a bunch of ads. Ignore the boss for the time being and instead focus on the overloads. Whatever you do, do not damage the Transcendent Hydra because once it loses half a bar of health, more ads including an extra 2 overloads will spawn. So freeze it or suspend it and focus on the 2 overloads first. Only once they die do you then want to focus on the Transcendent Hydra, and once it loses half a bar of health, another 2 overloads will spawn in. Try to remove the Hydra's health bar completely, which will cause it to disappear and will no longer be a nuisance. Use the same location to then clear the next 2 overloads and any remaining ads. Once the room is clear, move over to the left side tunnel. If you sit in the middle near the left side, the boss will rotate to that side. There is a little gap in the ceiling where you can shoot the boss with without the boss being able to hit you back. Remember that the Arbalist and any gun with barrier rounds can shoot through the shield. Step 2. Once the boss loses half a bar of health, it will teleport away, so move back over to the middle hallway. Yet again, the Transcendent Hydra will spawn along with 2 wyverns, 2 barriers and some ads. The barriers will stay outside, so you can leave them for last, whilst the wyverns and the Transcendent Hydra will rush you. Once again, freeze or suspend the Hydra whilst you deal with the wyverns. If a Hydra loses half a bar of health, another 2 wyverns and another 2 barriers will spawn in. Get rid of the 2 wyverns first and then focus on the Hydra. Remove its health bar quickly to make it teleport so you can focus on the next 2 wyverns. Again, use the tunnel and chain your supers and your grenades to safely dispose of them. This will leave 4 barriers on the outside, but you can deal with them one at a time. Simply freeze or suspend them and pixel peek the corners of the walls. You could even move outside the room to the right to get on the flank, but be careful of the boss because it will draw it towards you. When the last barrier dies, you will face another wave of overloads and some more ads, so stay in the middle tunnel and let them come towards you. There isn't any Transcendent Hydra, so you can stay in the middle tunnel and focus on the ads. Once they are cleared, move over to the left side tunnel to begin damaging the boss again. This time only lower the boss's health down to half a bar of health. Once it reaches half health, another 2 overloads and more ads will spawn, so yet again, move over to the middle tunnel to kite them in. Once dealt with, move back over to the left side to remove the boss's second health bar. Step 4 and the final step. When the boss is on its last health bar, a final wave of wyverns and barriers will spawn along with the Transcendent Hydra. Simply move over to the middle tunnel and just like before, freeze or suspend the Transcendent Hydra. Focus on the 2 wyverns and the ads. You can ignore the barriers on the outside for the time being. Once the wyverns are dead, then go ahead and kill the Hydra. Once it loses half a bar of health, another 2 wyverns and another 2 barriers will spawn, so try to kill the Hydra as quickly as possible. Once the last of the wyverns dies, you will be left with 4 barriers to kill. They tend to stay outside and on the ledges, so take your time and focus on them together one at a time. When the last barrier dies, the boss will be vulnerable, and there will be no more ad spawns whatsoever, so throw everything you have left at the boss. And there you have it, that is how you complete the Glassway Nightfall on Grandmaster difficulty. If you have found the guide to be helpful, then please like, share and post a comment. Don't forget to subscribe for more Destiny 2 guides. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.